Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two trucks having sex. Two trucks having sex. My muscles involuntarily flex. Two pickup trucks making love, American made.
Listen up, Autothoughts and Decepticlowns. You are listening to Prime Cuts, a non-linear history of the Transformers franchise on television. I'm one of your hosts, Nero.
I'm your other host, Audrey.
And we're back with more goddamn Earthspark this week.
We're getting, I feel like in these episodes, what I really like about these episodes is that I think they are starting to introduce real plot very gradually.
Yes. We're getting the slow roll thing. These are kind of a sleepy pair of episodes as far as stakes go. We keep getting hints about stuff that's cooking in the background.
Yeah, and so far, if this is what is happening, which I assume it is, I think, I'm smart enough in media, like, savvy enough.
You can figure out this show for babies?
to figure out a show for babies, yes. I think it is the most subtle and almost, I would say, like, natural integration of, like, larger plot into, like, story of the week episodes so far that I've seen in any of the shows.
Yeah, for sure. It just pops up a little bit here and there.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But in the meantime, we have story of the week episodes.
That's right. It's we got some shenanigans here. We got some pair of episodes with a lot of shenaniganry, moving in, and house rules.
Yeah. Moving in, our third episode starts with. I'm not going to do that every time. Moving in starts with Bumblebee speeding against a train. Note, that's a special tool that will come in handy later.
He could have caused so many traffic accidents doing this. This is a tiny town.
This is a tiny town. Well, in that case, he probably wouldn't have caused much of any accidents, now would he?
You know what? Fair enough.
He does do a very stupid stunt here, but hey, he's able to do it without hurting anyone, so I guess, more power to him. So he's racing against this train. He, like, bumps into a pickup truck in front of him to raise the back of the, what's it called? The
Ramp?
the actual area that a pickup truck has.
Oh, the bed.
The bed, right. So he taps the bed to get the back gate off of it and down to act as a ramp, which he uses to ramp over the train onto the other side to make it to the Malto family house in record time, because this is apparently his priority.
One literally at the second on time for his new teaching gig. Because as we remember, Bumblebee has been assigned to be the Cybertronian half of the Terran's education. He
is greeted with, I think it's just Thrash and Mo at the moment who are doing target practice, right?
First, yeah, it's Thrash and Mo. Then there's also, he gets there, and Dot and Alex are there.
Right.
And they say, hey, we're still getting the stuff together, but we're still getting your new place together. And he looks at the barn and he goes, oh, new place. Great. That's really, really what I like to hear, is that I'm going to be sleeping in a barn.
Yeah, Dot, God bless her, is like, you can put up walls if you'd like.
Yeah. And also, he is still, like, slightly put off by Alex's enthusiasm about him. He was like, great, that guy's here. Why did I take this mission again?
It actually is a good question. Like,
it's a really good question.
Why did he do this? He was so chill and hiding.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, if Optimus calls you up and says, I need a big favor, my boy, it's hard to say no. But also,
I don't know about this Optimus.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he does seem to have a sort of limited number of guys to choose from, but I feel like someone else could have been a better teacher, right? Like,
Honestly, like, why isn't Megatron doing this?
no, he probably shouldn't. He's nice. I like him. I love bimbified Megatron. We probably shouldn't let him teach the children.
I mean, he's besties with Dot, though. And
That's
she'd
true.
be right there.
That's true. She could curb all of his worst tendencies.
Or they would make each other worse.
Yeah.
I do feel like Dot and Megatron's friendship is absolutely, like, Optimus going, I can fix him, and Dot going, I can make him worse.
But also, you can't take Megatron off the ghost stuff. Like, he's a heavy hitter. Bumblebee literally isn't supposed to be dead, so, like, he's a pretty good, like, guy to put there, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen what Alita can do. I feel like she can basically handle everything on her own.
But it's also, like, one of the things, like, they're not supposed to tell Ghost that the Terrans exist.
Yeah.
Would you think Ghost would have some kind of crazy surveillance thing, but I guess Dot is immune to that. The perks of being a person of interest, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not sure it works like that, but...
No, I don't think... You'd think maybe they'd have more, but who knows? Ghost is still very... very mysterious. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there.
Yeah, really unclear what's going on, and I'm excited. Again, we are getting, like, gradual hints of it, but I'm really, like, genuinely excited to put the puzzle together.
Whatever it is,
I mean, I know
good.
eventually it's going to be hand-fed to us, but, you know.
Yeah, but, like, whatever it is over there, it doesn't seem good. It seems
Yeah.
like there's some shady shit going on over there.
So anyway, Thrash and Mo are doing target practice, which basically involves Mo throwing objects outside of the barn window and Thrash shooting them. I do want to note here, still using those 2D effects that we talked about last time, and they still look great.
Oh, yeah.
Can't emphasize enough how well this combination of the 2D effects on 3D setting with 3D characters works for me.
So after getting shit thrown at him and being told that he's sleeping in a barn, Bumblebee is trying to get his lesson plan together. Meanwhile, the Molto kids, and by that I mean both the children and the Terrans, because they were, of course, adopted, are hanging out with some cows. Thus the moo part of moving in.
Is this before or after he calls Alita? Because I want to talk about that
This
scene.
is way before. He
Okay,
calls Megatron first, which...
Megatron and then Optimus and then Alita, right?
No, it's Megatron, then Alita, then... He's
Then
trying
Optimus.
to call Optimus, but he keeps...
Yeah.
He keeps getting Optimus's fucking wives on the line instead, so... I guess they all share the same number. It seems... Or at least they all have access to the channel, right? Like they can all call in on Optimus's line.
They all have the same answering machine. Let's say that.
Yeah. And it's Optimus's ass. Anyway, the Terrans are learning about cows and how adorable baby cows are.
They're pretty damn cute.
They're quite cute.
So
This one especially.
Introducing new friend Fluffy Ears.
You gotta get better at naming shit, Twitch. I'm sorry. I gotta roast you. That's a dog shit name. But we'll work on that. We'll workshop it. Don't you worry. And you know, Twitch is enjoying hanging out with Fluffy Ears, touching Fluffy Ears' fluffy ears. Then Bumblebee comes stomping in and spooks the cow. He's like, all right, time for transforming lesson.
Yeah, and suddenly things don't work well with transforming.
Yeah, so, you know, he's just like, because, as, you know, they're literally born yesterday. So they don't really have all that shit down yet, you know? They don't have it down to a second nature like Bumblebee does. I like this bit where he tells Thrash to transform, and Thrash sort of stretches himself into a vaguely motorcycle-shaped object.
I would call it modern art, is what Thrash transforms into.
He kind of puts the wheels on his legs down and like does the splits.
Folds into, yeah.
Yeah, while making the Transformers noise with his mouth. And Bumblebee goes, okay, that's interesting, but not really what I asked for. And Twitch, who previously was in drone form to get some apples for the cows, It's like, oh, this is easy. I can train. I had just transformed. Watch this, and nothing happens. She's trying really hard to transform, but it's just not happening.
Yeah. She's poor
The
girl.
yeah, and she's like, "Oh my god, I was literally just in vehicle mode." And B's like, "Yeah, sure you were." And Robbie's like, "No, no, B, she was. I saw it."
We were picking apples. Bumblebee, no.
No, Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
So he's like, "All right, well, clearly we have a lot to work on." But Thrash is like, "Actually, we don't want to go to school. We're just gonna go hang out."
This episode is Thrash and Twitch basically being all I want to do is gunshot, 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 cash register noise, and hang out with my siblings.
They don't want to go to school. And Bumblebee's like, okay, fine, whatever. We'll just do more like tonight. And the kids are like, oh, no, you can't do that, Bumblebee. This is like the one night of the week that you can't fuck with because it's Malto family game night. And that is non-negotiable. This is when
But he calls them all, yeah.
But first he heads back to the barn frustrated that these fucking kids aren't listening to him. And he encounters Alex, who, he just happened to be moving these boxes full of Bumblebee merch from somewhere to somewhere, and he just happened to run into Bumblebee. Wow.
I want to know where Alex is sourcing all this stuff. It is like James Bond levels of just Bumblebee branded.
There's so much shit.
Gadgets.
And like, yeah, it's amazing because like there was an actual Transformers merchandise blitz in this world, but they were real. They were real guys who were fighting a war. They made fucking walkie-talkies of War Hero Bumblebee.
I know. I mean, it's the same with like any big superhero thing, right?
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing in the MCU and all that, but like it's still really good to see.
One of the funniest examples is in Godzilla Final Wars. And in, kaiju movies, kaiju are like natural disasters. They level cities. Yeah. And we see a shot of this kid playing with like kaiju toys. And they're like the Bandai line. It's like, what? They made those in this world? That's fucked up.
You know what? These toys, they're like Trump bobbleheads.
That's like if they made a Hurricane Katrina action figure. What the fuck are you doing?
But no. I mean, it's like Trump bobbleheads.
Yeah. It was like, this guy sucks. Let's make a toy of him. Except, what if he was a gigantic fire-breathing lizard?
Yeah, and also, the Trump ones are mostly owned by very enthusiastic people for Trump.
I wonder if there would be I can't get into what if there are pro-Godzilla people? I can't get into that right now. A wonderful thought experiment for later.
Nature is healing, Nero.
Literally, it's not. He's an irradiated lizard. He isn't supposed to exist like this.
Humans are the disease.
And Godzilla is the cure. So I love the bit where Alex holds up like a piece of Bumblebee merch for him to sign, and the way that Bumblebee signs it, he pulls out his fucking gun and charges it up, and then it focuses into a little pinpoint laser so he can sign it.
This unfortunately gives Alex ideas for mostly the next episode.
Yeah. He tells, he's like, thank you for signing that one. Now can you sign the rest of this? And he gestures behind him and there's like 7 more boxes full of shit.
And also mentally he's like, so what'd that stinger do?
He's like, wow, that seems like a really useful tool. I'll be thinking about that. And Bumblebee says, just leave all that here. I'll get to it at some point. And then he tries to call Optimus, and instead of Optimus, he gets Megatron, who is currently running some kind of training gauntlet. And Bumblebee asks, "Hey, Megatron, how did you get people to listen to you?" And Megatron says, "Well, when I was in charge of the Decepticons, I beat the shit out of them."
Right, and Bumblebee's like, "Okay, cool.
I gave him something I like to call the Turbo Twister."
And he's like, how about since you stopped being an evil megalomaniac? And Megatron's like, oh, I haven't done that since then.
Yeah, I'm not really a team leader guy. I don't really do that shit anymore.
Yeah, no, that's out of my purview.
Yeah, I love. Yeah, Bumblebee immediately just hangs up. Like, okay, not helpful. Not a helpful course of conversation.
Redials gets Alita one.
No, you're skipping a scene. You're skipping a
Oh.
scene where he goes back to the field to look for the Terrans. He doesn't find them, but he overhears Twitch trying to transform behind a hay bale. And he's like, oh my god, she's training. And he's like happy for a minute. And then he hears her go, I want to fucking know-it-all Bumblebee. I'll prove it to him. I'm better than this. And he goes, oh, know-it-all. Yeah, and this is when he calls. This is when he gets Alita.
Yeah. So he calls Alita.
Interrupts her workout sesh.
She is deadlifting cars, and I've never wanted to be stepped on by a character as much as Alita in this scene.
She's on her hot girl shit, and she actually gives him some good advice, which is like, you know, he asks, how do I get these fucking kids to listen to me? And it's like, well, and she's like, well, what do you know about them? And Bumblebee says, they're small. And she goes, well, that's your fucking problem, man. You got to get to know your troops if you want them to listen to you at all. Spend some time with them.
Like, at least, she's like, do you know what their favorite color is? And he's like, why would I know what their favorite color is? And she's like, unbelievable.
Fucking ridiculous. Get on that, soldier. I need to go back to, like, bench pressing tanks over here.
But this does give Bumblebee an idea. It turns out he remembered there's a great opportunity to get to know both Twitch and Thrash, as well as the other two human children, much better. And it's multi-family game night.
Mm-hmm. There's also a running thing in this episode where Alex has these fucking Bumblebee walkie-talkies. There's a running thing of like, my eyebrows are not that big.
Yeah.
And B gives them to the Terrans as like a quote-unquote gift in this sequence. It's like, we can use these to stay in touch during missions.
There is like a 10-second long sequence of Thrash covering Bumblebee's face with the walkie-talkie version of his face. And it's quite funny, actually.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, it's time for Family Game Night. Terran Expansion Pack Edition. And Bumblebee's like, that's great. I would like to be on the team with the Terrans. And Robbie and Mo go, too bad. We call dibs.
You can be on a team with your favorite person, our dad.
This is, great. This sequence is very fun. It's like a little montage of, it's a family game night. You got like a twister board up. You got some tic-tac-toe. They do some charades. There's all sorts of various entertainments to be had.
Yeah, and Bumblebee tries to help.
Well,
I feel like he was genuinely trying to help and just doing a miserable job of it.
Yeah, he's also trying to
train them
into like, hey, think of it like a training thing. He's like, well, maybe they'll like training more if it's more fun. But all he really does is stress them the fuck out.
Is sabotage them, yeah.
And eventually, during charades, Bumblebee blows Robbie and Twitch's turn. And
this is after he blows like Twitch playing tic-tac-toe.
Oh yeah, he's like, you must consider every possibility. And she's like, every possibility?
And then it's Mo and Thrash that he blows the turn for the second.
Yeah, because he wastes time, and it's like he's like, now what if Mo was a Decepticon? How would you capture it? And Thrash is like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And then their time runs out.
Yeah.
And the four of them get into like a huge fight with each other, which devolves into them screaming at each other, but then basically them realizing that the person who is fault for them losing both of their things is Bumblebee. And it's Thrash who's like, why couldn't you just let us play games? Why did you have to like force us to train.
And he goes like, well, if you just did your training in this morning instead of hanging out with a stupid baby cow or whatever, I wouldn't have to do that. And Twitch gets really mad.
So Twitch like bursts, and she's like, its name is Fluffy Ears. In the same cadence, in the exact same cadence that I imagined that Anime Club by Casey Green comic, the term mark is hentai.
And she gets so fucking mad at Bumblebee that she transforms and shoots through the ceiling.
Yeah.
But everyone just kind of tries to, decompress after that. There's a great, so like, we kind of cut to Twitch first, where she's angrily flying around. She's so angry that she doesn't realize that she transformed. And when she does realize, she's like, oh my god, I turned into vehicle mode. I gotta go tell my best friend Fluffy Ears. But the problem is that she's a gigantic
military drone
right now, and the cow is not quite as pretty scared of that.
And even the cows know ACAB.
Yeah, and she's like, "Oh fuck! I gotta turn back to our robot mode. I gotta show the cow that it's me." Having some difficulty doing that. Then we see this is some good ass Optimus characterization here.
Who taught him this? This is not something. What Optimus does upcoming is not something he learned on his own. Who taught him this?
Someone did this. So Bumblebee finally
I bet it was Wheeljack.
He calls Optimus to channel again, and he's like, "You have Optimus Prime." And he's like, "Oh my god, thank Primus." Okay,
it's
man.
Like it's even less formal than that. Like it's more like, this is
Prime
Optimus.
Here. Yeah, Prime here. And he's like, "Oh goodness gracious, Optimus. I'm sweating over here. I don't know if I'm built for this. Like, I am struggling to hold this mission down." And he talks for like 20 seconds, and then you just hear, "Haha, gotcha. I'm not here right now.
I'm probably away on a mission."
Leave a message after the beep.
I think it was Wheeljack. I think Wheeljack learned how to do that early on in his career to avoid responsibility.
Yeah. I used to know someone who had that as their fucking message, and let me tell you, I fell for it every time.
Like, Optimus had a long one.
Yeah.
That was a long one. That was like
brutal one.
Nero might be accurate when they say that it was like 20 seconds.
It was really long. You got like 3 sentences out before the punchline.
It's a long time. It's a long time.
But he's not without advice, because Dot and Alex come up, and they're like, "Hey, man."
Is this the first time we see Dot's leg?
Oh yeah, she's like wearing a Hawaiian shirt and shorts, and she does have a prosthetic leg.
Yeah, so this is the first time we see that she is disabled, which is very cool.
And they're like, "Hey, man," and he asks if they know, how do I deal with these kids? And they say, "Buddy, oh, if we knew, you'd be the first to know. If you get to give us any tips, if you fucking figure it out, man." And they just have like a little down to earth, like sort of parents mentor conversation. Like, you just got to slow down and let them approach these things on their own. You can't try to force them into this stuff. Well, yeah, it's important, but they're these fucking robots were born yesterday. They don't want to be bossed around by some know-it-all war hero.
Yeah.
And we get the little
which
nice
is not the answer Bumblebee wanted, but
but it's a valuable answer.
Yes.
And it will help him. We get the nice moment of like, he calls her Mrs. Malta, and it's like, "Call me Dot." And Alex is like, "Oh, by the way, he's a doctor."
Yes.
Is he? I think he's a teacher, right? Is that
yes? My understanding is he's a professor.
Yeah.
So it's a PhD, not an MD.
Yeah. So he's like, and he's like, "Oh well."
Also, these episodes super confirm him as Filipino.
Yes, 150%. And yeah, he just, we get the nice moment of Bumblebee calls him Alex. Like, "All my friends call me Alex." Like, "Well, I'm glad to be your friend, Alex." And he faints. His brain overloads with endorphins. Then it gets a call on the Bumblebee walkie-talkie, because Robbie and Thrash run to the cow field and find Twitch spinning around in drone form and like freaking the fuck out because during her attempts to turn back to robot mode, she caused a stampede, smashed through the fence, and now the entire herd of cows is running towards the train tracks.
So they have to go herd the herd.
So Bumblebee shows up, and he's trying to keep everybody calm. And this is when we get the like he finally
he's
asks,
not yet trying to keep everyone calm.
True. Because first, he's like, all right, Thrash, I need you to transform into bike mode because it'll be way easier to herd the cows with you driving around. Twitch, since you're already in drone form, just fly up and give us a bird's eye view. And of course, Thrash still can't do it because, as we've just as it's been discussed, they have a hard time performing under pressure. And Bumblebee finally asks. Well, actually, first Thrash asks B, like, how do you do it? How do you transform? And B doesn't really have like a good answer. It's like, well, it's kind of just second nature at this point. I just kind of want to,
Like he's like, I don't know, how do you walk? Like,
yeah, but he asks the valuable question of
it's a motor function.
How do you feel when you transform? And we get the kids stepping in with their empathy gloves and going like they feel safe and secure and happy, calm. That's the key thing. They got to feel calm.
And Bumblebee's like, oh, got it.
Got it.
Cool. No doubt.
Well, all right, let's all hold hands and be calm, so Thrash can turn into a motorcycle.
He does.
He does, and he and Mo speed off. Twitch is the eye in the sky, and they managed to like.
Oh wait, I do want to say I forgot to mention. I do want to mention one line here, which is when they're begging for help. Mo looks up at Bumblebee and goes, "Please, this is our first rodeo."
Yeah, that was a really good line. Very clever.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
They heard the herd pretty easily.
They do slip in the episode title.
Yeah, moving in. And they get the herd down, but Twitch notices, hey, where's Fluffy Ears? I don't see Fluffy Ears. And she spots Fluffy Ears. Fluffy Ears is stuck, has her hoof stuck in the train tracks, and there's a train coming. So that's a problem we will
This is, I will say, probably the longest lead up I've seen to a train actually hitting someone.
It's pretty far away, apparently, and it is a fast train too, because this is a sleek, as we'll see in a minute, automated ghost train. Hey, what the fuck?
A literal ghost train.
Yeah, and as Mulvey says later, he also says, I don't want to know what they're hauling in this thing.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know. It's like, hey, what is going on?
I'm sure it's fine.
What is happening over there? But yes, they Bumblebee, Twitch gets the cow, lifts her out, and it's like everything's fine. Except Twitch's foot is now also stuck, and she can't transform. So
yeah, unclear how her foot got stuck.
Yeah. Sort of, I don't know.
It kind of looks like she's just standing on the track.
I guess she like is between the slats. I couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah.
And she like calls in frantically, like, help! Oh my god, help! I'm on the tracks and my foot's stuck and I can't get out. And there's a train coming and the cow is here. Oh god, please help! And Bumblebee is like, all right, I'm on my way. Robbie tries to jump in, but Bumblebee's like, no. I need you to stay here and send Twitch as many good vibes as you possibly can in this situation with your fucking glove. And he does some train stunts, He tries to slow the train down like 75 different ways. It does not work.
That train is going.
It's going. But as we see, the automated brakes are pretty good. Whatever fucking like sensors they have attached to that thing are pretty good at sensing stuff on the track.
Yeah.
I mean, it still would have fucking
eviscerated
Twitch, but like It would have done it at a slightly lower speed.
And that's
Yeah,
something, right?
It's something. Bumblebee arrives and he kind of jumps in front of the train and shields Twitch, and she's like, "What the fuck are you doing? We're both gonna get destroyed." And he's like, "I'm not leaving until I know you're safe, because that's what a team does. That's what family does." And that lets her sort of feel safe enough to turn into drone form and lift Bumblebee and the cow to safety. There is a moment where Thrash and Mo definitely think she fucking died, though, because which you'd think Robbie would be able to tell, right? Oh God, what happens if?
Oh, they both die. They all die. All four of them die.
Oh,
Psychically linked. They're all dead forever.
Uh-oh. It's an IDW Headmaster situation. Oh no. But yeah.
No, I'm sure it's like when a Conjunct Amarata dies. You just feel that hole in your spark forever.
It's like when Ravage dies in IDW and Soundwave just has a breakdown fucking 5 bajillion miles away.
Yeah.
So yeah, they briefly think that the Twitch and Bumblebee have become like scrap metal, but they're fine. The cow's fine, and Bumblebee goes to game night for real. And there's a very good moment where Optimus actually calls Bumblebee. It's like, "Oh hey man, sorry, I was busy. I missed all your calls, but are you free to talk now?"
And Bumblebee's just like, "Actually, I'm in the middle of something," and then rolls these giant cardboard dice.
Huge
These
dice.
Massive dice. Hopefully sourced from Sarah McCostume's Really Big Dice. TM.
And also, can I just say, Danny Pudi, great Bumblebee. Fucking great so far.
Yes, he is. I totally forgot it was Danny Pudi as well, but like...
He's so good.
This Bumblebee is just like a really good combination of like some of that traditional cockiness, but again with that like sort of years of maturity. I feel like being a hermit did a number on him.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say he strikes a really good balance of like he's got some years on him, but also he's still kind of that hothead, right? He's still sort of he's got a little bit of that animated Bumblebee cockiness in him, but not quite as like overbearing as animated Bumblebee can be.
Yeah, I mean, he feels as many of these characters do, or I won't say many because we haven't seen that many.
Yeah, we've seen like 5 guys.
Yeah, he feels like G1.
Yeah, he feels like sort of, you know how there's games that try to not capture how a game feels, but how you remember it feeling, like a genre, like a sort of
yes,
a
yeah.
That's what this Bumblebee is, where it's like it's how G1 feels if you try to think back when you watched it as a kid. It's like this sort of feels like what G1 Bumblebee would be now. And instead, if you go back and watch G1 Bumblebee, is just like, I don't know what G1 Bumblebee is, frankly. I remember he wanted to fuck that lady's car, though.
He did want to fuck that lady's car, yes.
he was excited for that. But yeah, no, he's great. Finally proving I'm disproving the Bumblebee hater allegations. I just need a good one. I also like Prime Bumblebee.
I do like Prime Bumblebee. No, I think Prime Bumblebee I like a lot because of his relationship with Raph.
Yeah, it's sort of a thing where Bumblebee himself, he does have a character, he does have an arc, but it's kind of hard to express that on its own because he bleep bloops. What like his connection with Raph is very strong. This Bumblebee just feels like a much more realized and thought about character on his own right, without like being connected to anybody else. Yeah, that's moving in.
Onwards to House Rules.
These kids are way too into Capture the Flag. They need to calm the fuck down.
I also want to know who's writing the dialogue specifically for Twitch and Thrash, because some of this feels like the most realistic sibling relationship I've seen in any children's media.
It's pretty good. So it's an Autobot versus Decepticon capture the flag. I think Mo and Thrash are the Decepticons, which is
Yes.
foreshadowing, and Robbie and Twitch are the Autobots. And there's the game ends and there's a dispute between Twitch and Thrash.
I want to say the line that Twitch says that here.
What did she say?
So Thrash has hidden the flag, and she's tackled him to the ground, and she says, "Cough it up, bike boy." Which is just an incredible line.
Yeah,
it's
then
so good.
Bumblebee walks up and is like, "Oh, hey, kids, calm down. It's just a game." And then you hear like off-screen rumbling noise, and he goes, "Stop biting your sister! Oh God!"
Like this is what this feels like what my relationship with my sibling as a kid was.
Almost certainly, there's someone on the writing team pulling from real sibling relationships, much like Alex Hirsch in Gravity Falls, right?
Cough it up, bike boy is one of the funniest lines I've heard in the Transformers series.
It's really good. Anyway, they crash through the wall of the breakfast nook.
And that's about it for Dot and Alex. That's where they're drawing the line.
All right, team meeting. Family meeting. We got to go over some goddamn rules. So they do. They they're just like, all right. So like number one, they do go over all the basic rules. Like you've got talk when you're upset, all this sort of stuff. And then they're like, yeah, we're adding a new one though in light of recent events, and that's no bots in the house.
Do you remember all the rules? 3 was use your words.
Yeah, 3 was use your words when you're upset. I don't remember the first 2. I did not write them down.
It's fine.
And I don't have it pulled up because it doesn't have. I watched it on a normal website, which doesn't have
a normal
subtitles.
website that is free to use and legal to do so as well.
That's right. But yeah, they go over the rules. Twitch loves rules. She's like, this is perfect for me. I need structure. I need someone to fucking tell me what the goal parameters are, and I'm good to go.
Oh, wait, sorry. There's one other line that I want to mention as well from Twitch.
She's got some good ones this episode. She's not in it very much, but she got some bangers.
I think this is right after they finish fighting. Or around the time of the house rules where Mo goes, it's like, hey, it's okay, T. Let's go, take 5. And Twitch just looks at Robbie and goes, shouldn't I be T and he be
Yeah. There's also a bit where they try to sit on the same stump and like shove each other off. Classic sibling stuff.
I can't remember the last time, particularly in a Jesus.
Damn Fig. What was that?
That was not Fig. That was something hitting my window.
Oh, it was a bird.
Yeah.
Guest host, some fucking bird.
What was I saying?
Something about Twitch. Something about Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. That this is the last time the most I can remember is particularly in a extended piece of media in a franchise that has already been well established, of introducing a new character that I've loved as much as her. Yeah,
she's amazing. And she's fully we get so much more autism Twitch time in this episode. Holy shit, she loves rules. I
did not say that glibly last time that she had autism. To me, she reads as very autism coded,
super duper,
as within the first 2 episodes. But by the end of these episodes, I was like, this must be on purpose.
Oh yeah,
they must be trying to show a character on the spectrum with her,
right? And so they talk. They Dot and Alex show off the chore chart, and the kids are fucking groaning. "Oh, fuck the fucking chore chart!" But Twitch is like, "Ooh, the chore chart," and Alex is like, "Yeah, you get gold stars every time we do a good job." And she's like, oh, "I would like to win the chore chart, please."
God, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of a later line from her about it.
Yeah.
She had so many good lines in this episode.
Robbie, yeah, she literally does. We'll just talk about their fucking side plot right now because it literally doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
They're just so yeah, like Robbie keeps trying to tell her like, hey, listen, the rewards for that thing suck, and she's like, it doesn't matter. I need to win it.
So this is how we confirm Alex as being Filipino. Super. I mean, listen, his last name is Malto. He made lumpia last time, but the prize this time is. So, yeah, Robbie's like, the prizes suck, and Twitch is like, Dad said, actually, that this time, whoever wins gets to choose what we eat for a week, and Robbie's like, oh man, Dad's babinkas, and babinka, if you don't know, is an Indian dessert, mostly, it's mostly eaten in Goa these days, but it originates in the Philippines.
And
It's like a layered cake. It's like a layered crepe cake, sort of. It's very delicious.
I think I have that. I think that's in Cook Serve Delicious 3, which those games are all great. Everyone should give those games a try. They're fun. But anyway, I like this line where Robbie thinks about it and goes,
Yes.
hey, wait a minute, you don't even eat. And what does she say?
She's like, I feed off of victory.
Yeah, it's like, it's all for the love of the game, brother.
Why do you care what he cooks? You can't even eat. I feed off of victory.
Uh-huh. And they just like start. It's amazing. There's a bit where she just has a basket of eggs. And he's like, all right, chuck me up for egg gathering. And Robbie goes, we don't have chickens. Where did you get that?
And she's just like, put a star on it, Robbie.
Fucking drone form, like eye lighting up. Put a star on the board.
Less questions, more stars for me.
And so they start getting super competitive about this fucking chart, and this culminates in a lawn mowing competition, which just fucking destroys the lawn, just utterly annihilates it.
It's less of a lawn mowing and more of a lawn shaving.
Oh, yeah, lawn mutilating, perhaps.
It's kind of a lawn Brazilian.
Yeah, and so at the end of the episode, they show off their handiwork, and
it's bad.
Yeah,
Folks,
it's really bad.
Folks, it's bad.
And Dot just goes, oh, well, maybe Thrash and Mo can start resodding that during their 10,000 year grounding. Because,
no breaks.
As we'll get to the main plot here, because like I said, that C plot, it's just goofy fun times. It's just having a laugh. But it's amazing. I love Twitch. She's great. So, but Thrash, he does not like these rules. He doesn't want to be fucking told what to do or like feel like he's fenced in. He resents it. So literally as soon as Dot and Alex leave to get some lumber to fix the fucking wall of their house, Thrash is like, hey, what if we just sneak up into your room? Like, if you consider if we just like go up there when they're not here, and Dot and Mo's like, yeah, okay, sure.
Well, why did the two of them specifically get grounded?
Well, it's because of what happens here.
Right.
Because they go up to Mo's room.
Oh, right.
They're set up in a tent outside, and Thrash is like, man, this sucks compared to hanging out in your room. This fucking blows. So they go up there, and Mo, she sneaks Thrash in bike mode for some reason. I don't really. I guess he is pretty tall. So
yeah, probably to clear doorways.
Yeah,
and he's not like that wide. Like he is able to fit on the staircase.
Yeah, he's like a little baby bike. I mean, he's a fully operating motorcycle, but it's like kid sized.
We do get that he is manual transmission confirmed. Because as Mo is leading him up the staircase, she's like, okay, stay in first gear.
You're good. Yeah, they get up there and Mo just turns on. Mo is a huge fucking mark, confirmed. She turns on some pro wrestling. It's like, all right, let's just watch some pro wrestling. Nothing bad can happen from that. There's nothing reproducible happening in pro wrestling. And then it cuts outside and she fucking spears Thrash through the wall and pins him for the 3 count.
Yeah.
And then of course Dot and Alex are having to go, grounded. No, we will not be doing that. Meanwhile,
Yeah. Yeah.
meanwhile in town.
Good goddamn Swindle.
So, first of all, we have to mention number one, whoever is driving this truck is not named or really focused on. She's definitely a character, though, because she has a design. She's got a
Yes.
serious design.
It would actually be amazing if she was not a
Just
character
wasn't-
and they
wasn't
just were
anybody.
we're gonna give this ghost agent like 2 facial scars and like a distinct personality you can see in her like facial expressions and never use her again.
Yeah, but Swindle, he's hanging around. And he fucking T-bones this ghost truck, knocks it over.
It is nuts. I felt I saw this going on and I was like, Swindle, my boy, you are punching above your weight here. But apparently fucking not.
They gotta fucking beef these trucks up or something, man. If it's this easy to knock one over. Although I guess, he knocks it over literally and figuratively. But as soon as he cracks open the bed and it's like, oh, there's an energon detector in there. That's good. That's gonna help me find hardtop. But as soon as he realizes there's like an energon shield there that prevents him from touching it, he just gives up and leaves.
Yeah. Now, I will say, I had a
Pragmatic.
comment here. Maybe I missed this in the first episode. Quite possible. I had a comment here being like, oh, he's just looking for his husband, not the relationship.
Nope. Yeah, brother. They are in fact the Blowjob Brothers. This is someone asked that I think last week and we didn't get to it. They definitely these two are archetypal Blowjob Brothers. I've only seen them together in one scene, but they're getting up to shenanigans. They're getting up to foolishness. I mean, it's Swindle. So he just leaves. And this fucking lady calls in some local backup, which happens to mean Dot, because technically she's on call for this shit, even though I don't think she wants to be still. But Thrash and Mo, who are grounded and hating it, overhear this talk of a rogue Decepticon, and they're like, "That sounds cool. We should go look at that."
Yeah. Well, well, Thrash says that. Mo throughout this episode is like,
She is trying to look out for her brother, who is sort of reckless and wants to do all the cool stuff.
she is unfortunately like a 4th grader though. So
Yeah, and Thrash keeps getting involved with like war criminals.
yeah, so Thrash is like, we should go follow her, and Mo's like, we're grounded, and Thrash's argument is like, well, who says that we can't be grounded over there?
And she's like, it's kind of implied,
I love that response.
sort of by omission there. But yeah, they sneak into town.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that Thrash does in this episode that's like by omission. I mean, the reason that he was able to convince Mo to let him into the house in the first place, that's the reason why he was in bike mode. Because
Right,
the
no
rule
bots
was
in the
no bots
house.
in the house, but he
No
said
bikes.
but they never said anything about no bikes.
It's all look, he's teaching her how to
Lie through omission.
Exactly. It's the spirit of the law, not the letter of the law, and also the spirit of the law doesn't actually matter that much either if you just don't care. It's a valuable lesson to learn.
Life hack, don't care.
Life hack: laws are fake. But yeah, they kind of roll up here. Alita has arrived at this crash site. She doesn't say anything or do anything in this episode. She's just there.
Looking good.
Yeah, looking good, Alita. Swindle spots Mo and Thrash, and he's like, "Oop, mark alert."
Yeah, he's like
got some
on the
fucking rubes. Yeah, okay.
He's like on the roof of a building, and he's like, "Damn, this thieving thing is hard to do by myself. Too bad I can't find a partner." Looks
he looks
at
down.
Thrash. Huh.
Oh, interesting. He's like, I need someone small who can get into tight spaces. Ah, there we go. Great. I'm gonna blow up this dumpster to cause a distraction. So and also there's this whole thing where like eventually Thrash is he's in his rebellion. We're speed running his rebellious teen phase where he's like, I would be cooler to be a fucking Decepticon. They don't have to play by the fucking rules. They do whatever they want. And that idea is started because Swindle, gives them the "come with me if you want to live" sort of thing, and he takes him out to this like abandoned dam.
Not like sort of thing, like literally almost verbatim.
Yes, he's like, "come with me if you want to get out of here alive."
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh shit, okay." Because they don't like. Remember, Thrash was born yesterday, and Mo is a baby. They don't know what a fucking Decepticon like actually means, other than they were those guys that Mom and the Autobots fought against in the war. But also, she's best friends with their former like Emperor of Destruction. So you get a little bit of mixed messages, as is pointed out later in a very funny scene.
Yes.
But yeah, the Swindle just, he puts on the act. He's like, he puts on the sob story, like, "Oh, my brother, I miss him so much. We're just cool guys who don't want to be fucking tied down by Ghost Authority, man." He wanted to go snowboarding with literal trespassing signs.
And again, Mo has a great response to this. She's like looking at it, she's like, "Don't our signs say no trespassing?" As he like hands her a pair of bolt cutters, and she's like cutting the padlock that's locking them. And he's like, "Yeah, but it doesn't say no like hill surfing, sign surfing." Yeah. And she just looks at him and goes, "You can't really do one without the other."
I love him. Also, immediately Swindle tries to get Thrash to ditch Mo, and he's like, "No, that's my sister." And Swindle just rolls with that. He's like, he doesn't say anything. Like, "You're a fucking Cybertronian." He's like, "Oh, sure, fine, okay, whatever."
Well, no, he's no, not even that. He's like, "That's what I wanted you to say. You've passed my first test." And
no
they're
one
like,
gets into my crew without loyalty.
Yeah.
And that's when he goes and like, "I used to have a crew. My brother Hardtop, he was the best guy ever. I miss him so much."
Sometimes I still hear his voice.
Then you just hear distantly, "Forget about it."
I'm not dead.
I'm not dead. That weird guy took my arm though. That greasy dude has my arm. But yeah, there's oh my god, this is fucking incredible. So at the end of this whole like adventure thing, Thrash is convinced that Swindle, maybe Thrash needs some vocabulary lessons. Maybe he doesn't know that's what that word means. But Thrash is like, "This Swindle guy is on the level. He's a cool guy. I'm gonna take him home. I'm gonna take him to my house and show him around."
What is amazing about this is that this is somehow what Swindle wants.
I don't know how this is part of his plan. I guess he kind of rolls it into it later. He like kind of like does a whole thing about it. Look,
or maybe wasn't it something about? Didn't Mo say something about like Dot's job and being like, "Oh, maybe she can help find your brother"?
Yeah, he's like, "Yeah, my mom kind of works for those guys. Maybe she knows something." And Swindle's like, "Ooh, say." But I love this. So Thrash's like, "Hey guys, look who I found. I found a friend." And like literally 3 frames, Bumblebee flies in from off screen and tackles Swindle.
Yeah, it is less than a second for sure.
It is instant. It is like fucking target spotted.
The most deadly game of Get Down, Mr. President, except Mr. President is going to die.
Yeah, literally immediately just fucking tackles Swindle and just starts beating the shit out of him. And it's complete chaos. And eventually Swindle escapes. And Thrash is pretty mad. Like, "Hey, you mean to my friend." And Dot tries to explain to him, like, "You can't bring Decepticons to the house. It's not good. You can't be hanging out with those guys, Thrash." And Thrash goes, You're literally best friends with Megatron, though." And she's like, "That's different. He changed."
Well, an important part here is that Thrash is like, "You don't give them a chance, and you don't give us a chance."
Uh-huh.
So he is relating to Decepticons very heavily,
because
vis-a-vis how they're viewed.
Yeah, the way Dot explains it is like, they chose this path, right? They chose to live this life. They were not forced into it or born into it or whatever. They sided with that cause and they have to live with the consequences. But yeah, Thrash.
But you can't trust anyone with that symbol.
Yeah.
Except Megatron. But
well, technically, okay, actually, he does technically still wear it, but it's like a little tiny one in like the middle of the ghost symbol.
Yeah.
Yeah, Megatron's different though. He's my bestie. He's great. He changed. But Thrash is not really putting too much stock in that. And that night,
and to be fair, like,
it's not a great defense. It's
Yeah.
not a great like. All of them suck except for my friend, who's cool.
My friend is different. Don't question that. Like, come on.
My friend, my buddy, who has a fucking gigantic gun strapped to his arm. He's a cool guy.
He complains to Mo.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, this sucks. We should go and help Swindle. And Mo's like, did you not
hear all that shit?
And Thrash is like, all I know is that he's looking for his brother, and if anything happened to you, I would break any rule out there to save you. And It sucks that no one's going to give him a chance, and no one's given us chances, and I think we should go and help.
And you know what? Like, from where he's sitting, this shit makes total sense. This shit is like, yeah, of course this is how he would feel.
And Mo also, like, unintentionally feeds it before he starts going into it by saying, like, if they're going to treat us like Decepticons, you might as well go back to being them. That was at least more fun. So they bounce. Yeah,
they go to the place where Swindle met him the first time. And I love the bit where he's like, looking over the ravine, and then he hears them coming and goes, right on time. And he starts fake crying. More hard top. Oh.
Brother.
Yeah, but the closer they get to this fucking depot where the ghost truck is stashed, the less he cares about keeping up airs. Because like they get down there, and he hands Mo the bolt cutters again. He's like, this is for the fence or for the guards, whichever one comes first. And she's like, we're not gonna hurt anyone. He's like, whatever, man. Fucking Mark.
I would say Mo has figured out. Mo has taken her mother's words about Swindle much more to heart than Thrash has, and she's not
trusting this guy.
She is much more cautious this time around, and she just looks at him and she tries to like lay down the law basically, and is just like, we're not hurting anyone, Swindle. And he like grunts and then just like rips the entire gate off, and he's like, I assume you don't have an issue with that. And she's like, yeah, because you're gonna put it back when we're done here.
God.
I mean, Swindle literally, the rest of this episode is Swindle beefing with a 9-year-old.
Oh yeah, like for real. And this whole, and Thrash is still like on team. We got to find Hardtop, and Swindle tells them, "My brother's in this truck. We just got to get it open." Well,
I just want to say real quick, like as Swindle walks away after she says that, he's like, I don't need to take this from this half pint."
I'm a fucking Decepticon warrior. I don't gotta take this shit. And yeah, so they get to the truck. They open up the door there, and obviously Hardtop is not in it. And Thrash is like, "Hey, where's your brother? Wasn't he supposed to be in here?" And Swindle's like, "Shut the fuck up. Hey kid, go in there and deactivate the energon field by sticking your hand in that fucking machinery there." And Thrash at this point is realizing, this Swindle guy maybe isn't the best company. And that theory is confirmed when he pulls a gun on them.
Yeah, because he's like, all right, well, go get that. Go turn off that barrier. And Mo just like looks at him and goes, I'm not going to do that.
He pulls the gun out and she goes, okay.
And Swindle's like, surprise, bitch.
All right, I will turn that off. And she climbs in there.
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah, and Thrash is just like utterly just like, I mean, he can't really do much here. He's Swindle has him at gunpoint.
But he is pissed.
He's fucking mad. He's like, you fucking lied to us about your brother. And Swindle's like, whatever. Well, who gives a shit, man? I don't care. Just get the thing. You were fucking rubes. You were marks. I got your asses, all right? Like, you lost. Deal with it. But literally as soon as his attention is pulled away by Mo turning off the energon field, which, by the way, requires you to stick your hand in the pain box from Dune.
Yeah.
That thing
It is
definitely torn off some ghost agents' fingers there.
And I'm sure that's on purpose. I know we've used this phrase before a lot, but that is a literal saw trap.
Oh yeah, like you edit that out, you make that hole a little bit smaller. That's a saw trap.
It's actually a saw trap from the second movie, but whatever.
The degloving machine. You might think it's a machine that takes off your gloves, but guess what? You aren't wearing any gloves. And if you want to take them off, it doesn't work. It doesn't work if you have the gloves on. You need to take the gloves off, please.
Please, anyone who's listening to this, do not look up degloving. It is one of the nastiest things that can happen to the human body.
It's fucking bad. I watched that fucking Gerald's Game movie on Netflix a few years ago.
Yeah.
Bad. No good. Gnarly.
Yeah.
But anyway, Thrash immediately tries to fight Swindle, which goes about as well as you would expect.
Swindle, to be clear, as a full-size Cybertronian, much larger than Thrash.
Much larger. He has a gun. Thrash tries to kick him in the face, and Swindle literally just throws him into a pile of junk. He's like, stop it. Fuck off. But don't worry. The fucking at some point here, I think Mo manages to like send out a distress. How does she do this? How does she send out this distress signal?
I don't know. I didn't catch how she did it.
Regardless, she calls her mom, and very quickly Team Malto is there, and we get there's a history of Swindle being owned by trucks. A long and beautiful history. The first time was when Optimus literally airdropped himself in truck form on top of Swindle's head in IDW1. And now we have Dorothy Malto just fucking running his ass over with her Ranger truck. Pretty good.
Yeah, he bounces.
Yeah, he bounces as soon as Bumblebee shows up. He's like, okay, I'm clearly outnumbered here. I'm going to leave. I think he can see Energon Detector, right? He gets what he came for.
I think so, yeah.
He gets what he came for. He leaves. And, Dot is happy to see Thrash and Mo safe, but they are still super grounded for all that shit. And then that's house rules. Oh, there's one more though. Actually, I forget the nice little thing we have at the end of this one, because if you'll remember, they destroyed the breakfast nook at the beginning of this episode.
Yes, right.
Well, Dot and Alex have been hard at work, and they have turned the breakfast nook into like a little fold-out bar sort of thing, so that the Terrans and Bumblebee can hang out with the family during mealtimes without being in the house. And that's just very considerate. It's also a cool-looking thing, like the sort of setup they have there.
Yeah, they're very handy people, the Maltos.
Yeah. Also, I guess they do. I didn't think they kept cows in the first episode. I didn't think they had like a farm thing going on, but I guess they kind of do. Not chickens though. They don't keep chickens, as evidenced by Twitch's egg theft. Where did she get those eggs?
I mean, they're in rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah, she just popped a few miles over to the closest neighbor and robbed their eggs.
Yeah, that's what I assume. I mean, it's fucked up. Frankly, it's fucked up that Alex did not have that on their list.
What if you saw a drone stealing your eggs?
No one would ever believe you. This is how UFO sightings happen.
Oh yeah, you look at the windows, you have like a bright red drone just collecting all your eggs and putting them into a basket, and you go, well, I'm not going to tell anyone about this. Although to be clear, that was not on the chore chart. She says that there was no egg collecting on the chore chart. It's not on there because they don't have eggs. She just did it anyway and demanded it be added for her victory. All right, we have several questions to chew through here, so let's get it started.
Yeah.
Starting with the ones that we missed because the wind stole me away.
Or do you want to do Twitter first?
Let's do the ones from last time first, which I believe, scrolling up, the one we left off on was this one from Aurora Earth Spark. Where would you and Megatron hang out at if you were friends? Earth Spark Megatron, let's presume. Where would I hang out with Megatron? Space is a problem.
Yeah.
He's pretty big. So you can't really hang out indoors with him unless it's like Mall of America, and even then he can't like go anywhere. I feel like Megatron would appreciate some time in our beautiful national parks.
Yeah. That's probably national parks, state parks, those things. I feel like maybe I could get like a projector and a big screen. Watch some movies.
Watch some movies. Put Mario Kart on a mountain somewhere. I like that. Nero from Disney Minus Veer asks, would you wingman for Megatron so that he can get back with his ex-husband Optimus?
He's already there. He doesn't need us to do it.
Yeah, he got there on his own this time. He's good. I would help him any way I could, but he's all set. Road Rage Ruby, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being very likely, how much would you expect to find new robot younger siblings in a literal magic cave? What would you expect the least from a magic cave?
I mean, like 1.
Like I feel like 10 it's very likely to find robots, like new robot siblings in a magic cave.
Probably a genie is what I would expect to find in a magic cave.
What would you know? The question is, what do you expect the least from a magic cave?
Oh, what I expect the least from a magic cave?
Anything mundane, I guess.
Yeah.
Sabrina, Sidewinder Sabrina, how would you react if you got ancient Cybertronian technology grafted onto your body? What would you want to get?
I don't think I would react well to this.
Depends on what it was.
No.
The cyber sleeves, they're kind of lame. This touchy-feely crap. I want a gun. I want a fusion cannon.
Grafted onto you?
I can be trusted with it.
But grafted onto you though?
I can be trusted with it. I can put my drinks on it. Give it a cup holder.
I'd want probably a piece of jewelry. Something.
I could tap into the antimatter shit too. I could do that stuff. That'd be great.
Something fashionable.
Listen to me. I can be trusted with a fusion cannon.
Again, grafted to you though?
It'd be pretty heavy. If we're talking like Megatron size fusion cannon, that's like most of his arm.
Or even
What other pieces of cool Cybertronian tech are there?
I would probably want like a pair of ear cuffs or something.
Well, a fucked up hand that Chrome Dome has in IDW1 that he can use to like poke people's brains.
Treppin.
Yeah. What is that guy who makes people turn inside out? Sunder?
Yes.
I don't think that's technology. I think he just does that. I love that guy. That guy's a freak.
We get some fascinating outlier abilities in IDW.
Just turn you into a fucking meatball. Or I guess metal ball. Anyway, probably not a fusion cannon. I don't know. Like most of the Cybertronian technology I can think of is weaponry.
I would want like some kind. I think the idea is like I'm focused less on the effects of what it is and more on what it is that I'd want grafted to me.
As I say, I don't want anything grafted onto me.
Yeah, which is why I said something like ear cuffs. I don't care what they do, but if I had to get something grafted on me, I think ear cuffs would be nice and pretty and subtle.
Yeah, that would be all right. Some jewelry thing. Also, the next thing from Sabrina here. How great is it that we have a series with Megatron as a good guy and, in my humble opinion, much more likable than Optimus Prime?
You know, I agreed to you up to this episode, but whoever taught Optimus...
He's got that dog in him still, you know?
I
appreciate it.
Optimus to be a jackass.
Yeah, I don't think he was... He just... Someone taught him how to be a dad. This doesn't naturally happen. I refuse.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I appreciate about this version of Megatron that he is on the side of good and he's buddy with everyone. But like, he's got that dog in him still. He's got a little bit of that
Yes.
fucking spice, and I like that when that comes out. Like when he's talking about the turbo twister.
Yeah, everyone's like, we love Megatron. We do keep him away from the children.
Yeah, he's you know, he's still Megatron. He still did all that shit. From Short Scream Chet, if you could give any G1 character a different accent, such as Scottish Megatron, what character would you pick and which accent would you give them? Valley Girl Rodimus.
That's pretty good. Or like just Surfer Dude Rodimus.
Yeah, but close. I feel like Valley Girl Rodimus is just too good. What about you? What you got?
German Cup.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that. Cup has a lot of good, like, you could make up a cantankerous old guy of many different accents for Cup.
Yeah. I feel like German is, well, for someone who yells military orders.
Mm-hmm.
To the extent that Cup does.
A Bridge to Cass asks, hey, did the United States military side with the Decepticons? I don't think so. I think they sided with the Autobots.
Yeah. It does. I mean, the Decepticons are the fugitives.
Yeah,
in
it
this
seems like
reality.
certain Decepticons sided with the United States military, but not all of them. Or most of them, even.
Yeah. In fact, I think it's probably just Megatron.
Yeah, we don't see anybody else. We don't see,
I do happen to know that both Starscream and Soundwave are not happy with that decision.
Yeah, seems like they would not be. I think Thundercracker should be hanging around Ghost too, though.
Fuck it, Skywarp as well. They're both Skywarp and Thundercracker are buddy with the U.S. military forces.
That's true. Literal member of G.I. Joe, Skywarp.
So fucking funny. And his
Sidewinder
boyfriend, Rock and Roller.
Uh-huh. Sidewinder Sabrina asks, what's your take on these ghost fellas? Seem kind of shady to me. Yeah, it's definitely supposed, like, it's not just me distrusting organizations like that either. You don't name an organization Ghost and have them run literal unmanned drone trains through rural Pennsylvania and not be setting up for some pretty shady shit.
I trust them as much as I trust the CIA.
That's right. Here's the question I was referencing earlier. Aurora Earthspark asks, can Swindle and Hardtop be categorized as Blowjob Brothers or Blowjob Brothers adjacent?
Officially, yes.
I think they qualify. Like I said, I've only seen them together in one scene, but I can tell they're fucking idiots.
They could also be disgusting brothers.
Yeah, the
All
fucking
Succession.
shithead brothers. Yeah. Also from Aurora Earthspark. Do you think there's guys who are like really into the history of the Cybertronian War? Like, is there a War Thunder or World of Tanks but for Transformers?
Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Like, there's Alex is way into specifically Bumblebee in terms of his like knowledge of the war, but there's dudes arguing about like specific battles and shit, and like bringing up fucking kill records for Shockwave or some shit.
The craziest part of it is they all absolutely do exist, but the craziest part of it is what demographic it is, because it's an overlap of who in our actual reality would be the World War II aficionados and Transformers fans.
Some fucking
or like mecha fans in general.
Tumblr user and somebody's uncle just fucking verbally murdering each other over whether like Ramjet and Dirge count as Seekers, even though they only participated in one military action before being captured.
Yeah, and then there are people who are making literal gunpla of them.
Oh yeah, I mean we've seen the merch of just Bumblebee. Yeah. You gotta know there's like dioramas for battles and shit.
Again, Bandai Namco making a killing.
Follow up: which Transformers are likely to leak their own schematics just to try and get their game version buffed?
Starscream.
Wheeljack. That's interesting. I think both of those are definitely true. And finally, from our makeup questions here from Mimas the Gay, Daphnis, if you could have a PhD in an alien civilization's history, which alien civilization would you choose, and what would your specialization be?
It would be Vulcans, and it would be reproductive cycles.
A rich subject to mine.
I would be Star Trek's premier expert in Ponfar, let me tell you something.
Yeah, Tuja, the Predators. I feel like that would be a very. I would want to go deep on their like weapons culture. Be like, what are they? What do these really mean to them? Like, what is the importance they put on the hunt? Right. I feel like that's an interesting one. They're the
All
first
right.
ones that popped into my head. I like those guys. They're fucking ugly.
Let's hop
I
over to
will.
this week's questions.
Yeah, I will do the Twitter questions, and you can handle the Discord. We got 2 on Twitter. First from Z Paladin at Mommy Amcha. Favorite non-traditional cute baby animal? I'm partial to the baby aardvark.
I don't know if this counts anymore. It used to be non-traditional, but I feel like it's become traditional now. But baby sloths?
Ooh. Hang on, I don't think I've ever seen a baby sloth. Let me look that up.
Oh, really? Oh my god, they're so cute.
And I love sloths. I've never seen it. Oh! That's a fucking... Oh my god. That's a little angel.
It's literally like a trading card. Not trading card, like a Hallmark card.
He's a little... Oh my goodness.
I've opened a world delights for Nero.
Ooh, I already loved sloths, and I just had never seen any baby sloths. But now that I'm looking at them, I like them a lot. And the other 2, let's see, non-traditional cute baby animals.
So I guess that since you've never seen them, I'm gonna say that counts.
I do. Okay, you know what? I don't think they're they're the opposite of cute, but you know what I like. You know what I love to see.
What?
Whenever there's a baby bird who just looks fucked up. Who just
Oh,
looks
yeah.
like they've got a face full of dynamite or something. And they're just feathers everywhere. Scraggly looking bitches. I love those guys. Those are funny boys.
Those are pretty good.
From Cass, what is cosplay on Twitter? What's worse? Fae deals, swindle deals, or Temu deals? Okay, I think the obvious one is swindle because he will betray you 100%.
Wait, what were the 3 options?
Fae deals, swindle deals, or Temu deals.
Temu lock.
Temu. Okay,
No,
so
I
with
know.
Temu, all you're gonna get is like a shitty product. Like you get what you pay for with Temu.
Okay, I'm gonna say Fae because I don't understand metaphysical.
That's true.
There's literally no way for me to understand what I'm agreeing to with the Fae.
You might actually be able to like con swindle.
Yeah.
But like the Fae, they have centuries of arcane bullshit that they can just pull out and completely wreck your shit.
Swindle sucks shit, but he's a known quantity, you know?
Yeah, like he's a shitty guy, but he's like a used car dealership guy. Like you know how to fucking wheel and deal with him if you've got the skills.
Yeah.
A Fae, I am being turned into a toad. There's no way around it.
My identity has been stolen. Out of my way, Fae boy, I'm about to get it.
And by my identity, I mean someone is piloting my body while I am stuck in this dandelion. She also asks, outside of the obvious, no more wishes, no resurrection, no falling in love, if you were a genie, what rules would you have for your wishes? I think rules are bullshit. I just like Thrash, and I think you can just do whatever you want.
Nothing that involves anyone else without their consent.
That's a good one. That's the only rule, though. It also has to be funny. If it's not funny, I'm not granting it.
Just like my gender.
if I don't think it's funny, I'm blowing you up. That's the rule. Finally, Cass asks, does anyone actually play Monopoly with the auction rules? I fully believe the answer is no. Have you ever played Monopoly with like the normal rules?
I have. I wouldn't say I do. There is an activeness, I would say, to Cass's question here.
Look, if I'm ever gonna play Monopoly, everyone knows that the auctioning thing adds to an already long game. It's boring. It just holds things up. Everyone uses their own little house rules to make the game more bearable.
Just play a different game. Oh my god, there's so many better games.
I used to collect Monopoly. I still have a bunch of versions of it, but not as many as I used to.
Oh man.
I have played it several times, but yes, it is not a good board game.
It reeks of capitalism. Burn that shit.
And that's all for Twitter.
All right. Over on Discord from Slipstream Sam, we have, what is the best / most blatant act of cheating you've gone away with in a board game or other recreational activity? I don't. Oh, I guess there have been times when I've been playing like Boggle or whatever, where I would
Boggle?
look over to like other people's sheets.
Yeah, like peeking is a pretty common one if you're playing something that you can't do that on. I'm trying to think of a time that I cheated on purpose and just didn't. And most of the times that I've accidentally done something because I misread the rules and like didn't actually do it on purpose.
And if we count shopping as a recreational activity, then shoplifting.
There you go. Well, that's the look. Who could say that's not cheating? That's playing the game as intended.
Like, honestly, with grocery prices being what they are these days, come on.
Come on.
Who am I really cheating?
It's an open challenge at that point. It's like, all right, you have thrown down the gauntlet, Kroger. I'm simply picking up what you're putting down, and what I'm picking up are these extremely overpriced mangoes and putting them in my jacket.
From me, Mr. Gay, Daphnis. If you had to assign an animal mascot to each other show you've already covered, which animal would each show get? That's an interesting question.
Yeah, let's go through. So some of these do have kind of animal sidekicks, I guess, but actually most of them don't. Beast Wars is going to be a fun one to get to, but let's go in order here. Let's start with Armada.
No, Beast Wars easy. Beast Wars, I assign a human.
Just like a normal looking man.
Yeah, Connecticut Clark.
Like a t-shirt. Yeah. So Beast Wars is Connecticut Clark. What about Armada?
Armada? Okay, my instinct for Armada is a dragon. Something about like ancient lore and civilization and all that makes me want to say dragon.
That kind of fits, yeah. Prime.
Well, I kind of want to say because of Predaking, but
we already did dragon.
I know.
Yeah.
Shark. Everyone compares Megatron
Shark.
to a shark.
That's true. He is a very sharky. He's quite shark-like. But is he like the mascot? I feel like the mascot should kind of
be Bumblebee.
What is Bumblebee if you made him into an animal?
That's not a Bumblebee.
That's not a Bumblebee, like a pet.
I think like a rabbit, maybe.
Rabbit. It's like a hidden potential.
And also very fast.
Yes, very, very fast. What was after that? Yeah, Beast Wars is after that. We already said
G1.
G1.
Oh wait, no, we had animated first and then G1.
Yes, animated. Animated is very energetic, very, very, very bouncy.
I just think of a puppy.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that Labrador puppy.
And then G1. G1 is an elephant.
Yes, it's the elephant in the room at all times. Cyberverse is a ferret. I don't know why, it just fits to me.
Yeah, that works. And that's it.
We have our mascot for Earthspark. It's Fluffy Ears. It's cute baby cow.
Veer asks, which Transformers would you invite to your game nights?
Tailgate.
Yeah. Tailgate and Swerve are the only two who can fit.
No, I'm inviting the throuple. I'm inviting Whirl, Cyclonus, and Tailgate. I want to see what happens.
Whirl is not allowed inside my house.
He has to zoom in. He has to Skype in. You're right. You should fly his decision.
I'm not letting Whirl inside my house.
Fuck, he stole all my forks. Why did he even do that?
I think Ratchet would be fun to play with.
Yeah, Ratchet, he'd be a good one, especially like the grumpier Ratchets.
Yeah,
because they get, he get very. I can imagine Prime Ratchet getting way too into it.
Actually, I think like most of the high command of G1 Autobots would be a really funny thing. I think
I'm not inviting Prowl to fucking game.
I would invite Prowl just to see him lose spectacularly.
But what if you have to be careful with that, because if it's a fucking like. If it's Catan or something and he can use strategy, he's gonna like figure some way out.
Yeah, but you forget that Jazz is also there and he'll think it's funny too.
Oh fuck. That's right. I don't they should have had game nights for Autobot High Command. It would have fixed everything.
Um, it's
Ironhide would
it's
flip the
it's
table every time. No, wait, no, why am I saying Prowl would flip the table every time? It's his favorite activity.
it's the game changer episode. I
Uh-huh.
cannot win.
I think Swerve or Tailgate would be a very good choice though.
Yeah. From Ruby, from a scale of 1 to 10, how well can the Malto family handle Monopoly? Who starts justifying in their head corporate espionage, assassination, and a hostile takeover?
Twitch. That's Twitch.
Yeah, none of the humans do. The humans play normally, and then the Terrans go to literal fist blows about it.
Yeah. That's another hole in the breakfast nook. Twitch would absolutely be the one who is like playing 4D chess and trying to figure out ways to fucking snipe everyone else out of their properties.
She feeds off victory.
She's doing underhanded deals with like Alex because she knows he's not that good at like the underhanded property trading, so she's like giving him bad deals. She's like, I can get this, I can get the fucking greens if I just like make him think he's getting a good deal. Ooh, yeah, don't let this girl near Monopoly. She will become fucking Joker-fied.
From Sabrina, what is each of the Transformers' favorite generic board game?
So I'm gonna stick with the Terrans and like the Ghost crew for this.
Yeah. Those 5.
Optimus. Okay.
Optimus is playing dominoes.
Yeah, he and Megatron are playing old man dominoes.
Yeah. Alita likes Sorry.
Yeah. Twitch I think likes Battleship.
Or Risk.
Or yeah, anything that requires like a lot of thinking.
And
Thrash, what's one of you to like? Oh, he likes Jenga, but he only likes it when he can knock shit down.
Or Hungry Hippos.
Bumblebee, I don't know. I think Bumblebee is a game of life, man.
Yeah. From Ruby, is Bumblebee a tabletop connoisseur? Not this one.
No, definitely not this one.
What is Bumblebee's favorite very niche board game that he can't bring over for
Oh.
family game night because the rules are too complicated? I'm not going to talk about Bumblebees because I don't know, but I will say mine is Betrayal at House on the Hill.
That is a very fun game that it takes a long time to explain to people who haven't played it before.
Yeah. It's a fantastic game. One of my favorite games. And,
that would also result in some new holes in the Malto house.
I mean, it's literally called Betrayal at House on the Hill, so.
Yeah. Swindle would be great at it. Swindle would be so good at Monopoly. Holy shit.
What about you? Do you have any thoughts on?
No, because like I don't know, this Bumblebee just doesn't seem like he would have that kind of like niche board game interest. He's such a normie uncle.
Yeah.
He's bringing fucking Uno.
Really? It comes free with your Xbox.
That's right.
From Sabrina again. Who brings a full poker set to family game night? Alex.
Yeah.
He teaches the kids how to
100%.
gamble, for sure.
Oh, do not. Okay, Twitch becomes a card counter, and Thrash, I feel like you cannot. You
Twitch literally
cannot.
just reenacts 21.
Yeah, I feel like you cannot give Thrash the knowledge of gambling. That seems like it'll go really bad for someone. I don't know who. Thrash getting his fingers broken by the mafia.
So, yeah, really, is that a kaiji reference? Is that
And a casino reference, like the Robert De Niro movie.
Oh, yeah. From Zeffy the Gay Ajax, who would win at a game of spoons, and who would be the most violent player of said spoons? Now, I haven't played spoons
Thrash.
since, like, middle school, but for those who don't know what spoons is, it's a game where you have, like, 4 cards in your hand, and you have to very quickly keep passing them, and if you slow down too much, then you lose, basically. And the goal is to, like, make pairs, or get a full hand of all 4.
I only ever played spoons.
But, yeah, so it's, like, very fast, and you basically have to, like, look at the cards in your hand and make really quick decisions based on, like, what cards you think will be coming. So, That's spoons. Who would win at a game of spoons? Probably Twitch still. Twitch is both fast and can count cards and is competitive enough, I think, to basically body anyone in all of these games.
Yeah, she would win and be the most violent player.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll read this one. I'll put on my best Nolan North here from Sidewinder Sabrina. So my friend is having some trouble, and he could use some help if you could just send your credit card number along with the 3 numbers on the back to 1-800 Definitely Not Swindle. That would be great. Who on earth would fall for something like this?
Who on Earthspark?
Who? Thrash. We that is no.
Yeah, like we've established this. Thrash and Mo would.
Yeah. Alex would too, actually.
I don't know about that.
Oh, he just seems too nice and trusting.
But his wife is
especially okay. If Swindle is not doing it face to face, if he doesn't know, if he doesn't see the Decepticon badge,
even so, I think he may be keener than we're giving him credit for so far.
That's true.
Ruby asks, was Iswindo into crypto? How good was his grift, and how much did he cash out?
I don't think this version is. I definitely think most versions of Swindle
animated certainly is.
Oh yeah, and he got out like exactly. He made bank, and he is not fucking with it. He's on to the next grift. He is not the guy. He's not a bag holder. He is like the primo scammer. This Swindle has definitely bought NFTs like this year.
Oh God.
He and Hardtop have matching NFTs.
I don't know if Swindle did, but I think Hardtop did, and he didn't do anything to stop it.
Swindle sold him the NFC.
Yeah. Hey, they're at a record low value. You're getting a great deal.
Yeah. Just imagine how much more this will be worth in 2 years, brother.
Yeah. And does he use his scratched out buddy Acquaintance Blastoff as a mascot for To the Moon?
Oh yeah, G1 Swindle definitely does. I don't know. This Swindle is like, he is still on that scam, on that grift, but he doesn't seem quite as experienced. He's a little bit more of like kind of a scrapper.
Yeah.
In terms of like his scale, he's kind of a small timer. It feels like to me. I don't know if he's scheming.
And then finally from Sabrina, would Swindle run Twitter better than the current owner? Well, given the fact that a monkey with a typewriter could, I would probably argue yes.
Probably. Like, honestly, fuck it, give it to him. Let's see what happens.
I bet,
Either he runs it better, or he figures out a way to sell it faster.
I bet he'd be able to keep fucking advertisers, if nothing else.
Yeah, he would know not to fucking do that shit.
Not to post
figure that out.
Disney ads next to literal Nazi shit.
He would also not be on the app. He does not give a shit.
Yeah, he is less terminally online than old Musk boy.
He's got a fucking Nokia. He is not on that. He is not on that phone.
I mean, he is in the way that like Saul Goodman was.
Yeah, he's got a pager.
He's very Saul Goodman. But
can we get fucking Bob Odenkirk to play some version of Swindle at some point?
God, I hope so. I feel like he'd be down for it.
Please put Swindle in whatever the next movie is. Like put Bob in there. He'd be great.
Fuck it, I'll just at him. I don't give a shit.
Swindle and Jimmy. Well, that's it for this week. Earthspark continues to be a fucking treasure. I look forward to learning more about all these funny new guys.
I look forward to every time Twitch opens her mouth.
That's right. Please, waiter, more Twitch, please. We are Prime Cuts. You can find us still on Twitter at Prime Cuts Pod. Probably should get some other places up there soon. Join the Discord. I'm Nira. You can find me on Twitter at Dragon Smoocher, Tumblr, Cyclonus with a 5. Co-host is Dragon Snuggler. My other projects include Talk Cycles, a monthly animation podcast I do with my friend Jane. That is over on Talk Cycles on Tumblr. We just released our episode on Infinity Train Book 4 Duet, which was great. And it's hard to watch that season and not think about what happened to Infinity Train and get mad. We also do Ready for Heidelin, a Final Fantasy XIV companion podcast, now with its own streams that you can find over on twitch.tv/Janderscore every Wednesday. We're actually starting Heavensward this time. We forgot that when we did our End of a Realm Reborn episode a few months back, we didn't actually play through it in the game. We just watched the cutscenes on a YouTube video, so we had to do some catch up. But we're in it now. We're in French Catholic Elf City, and that's me.
I'm Audrey. You can find me on Tumblr, Twitter, co-host, and Blue Sky at Optimum on Prime, which is my funny robot internet joke. You can also listen to the other podcasts I do called Pot of Greed. It's about Yu-Gi-Oh! I've also been cast in a radio drama, which very shortly we made some serious progress on that, and very shortly should have more information about soon. And that's it for me.
Well, until next time, listeners, I am going to fling myself bodily through the Maltose breakfast nook, transform and roll out.
I am going to transform and roll out.
Peach.
Peach.